Hello, welcome to Romantic Wednesdays with Poetry. I'm Alisa Agnes, your host, and I believe it's time to get real and spill some tea or coffee. Today I will start a totally new cycle. It's the sixth one, and it's called Fun, Love, and Experiments. It's a completely new thing in my poetry, and I hope you will love hearing these poetry pieces. And today I will tell you more about Traveler's Adventure, the poem for the Wedel, and the second title is Over the Cup of the Tea. So it's full of animals and funny kind of adventures, and at the same time it's also kind of deeper. So it's such a very specific kind of mix. But at first let me read you the first poem. It's called Traveler's Adventure, the poem for the Wedel. Once upon a time, John Wedel went to Africa on his own. He saw a zebra and a little boy and fell off, ripping his pants off. He and his horse saw many miracles, but not quite as this particular one. There's nothing like this zebra voice. In addition, animal smiling and tamed. As fast as he could, he escaped to his tent. He was ready to pretend that it was just a fata morgana, but he wrote it down in his diary. Now your grandchildren are reading those notes and can't stop laughing. This way modern people got inspired. This way an advertisement was made. Every child knows, elder ones too. What hides its undiscovered truth? Legends, poetry, fairy tales. It's just an expressiveness. Yep, so that's this poem, and at first I need to read you the annotation to this poem. Wedel is a Polish brand of chocolate. This poem is a fun explanation of great and famous here advertisement that is quite 100 years old now. You can find a factory on the second side of the river. So that's where I wrote in my book, and Wedel is a very popular and kind of legendary kind of chocolate brand here in Warsaw. And as I mentioned in the annotation, there is also a chocolate factory not too far from my flat, and it was always very tough to get there to see this factory from the inside. And lately I heard that there is a museum right now, museum of chocolate museum. So I'd love to go there one day, and I also wanted to go there a few years ago. Very often it was opening for chosen people for the long night of museums, and one year I heard about the competition, so I thought I read such a poem. But later, when I sent this email, I saw that this competition took place a year before, so it didn't work out. I didn't get to see the factory, but I have such a funny poem, and I really recommend to Google Wedel, and maybe you will be lucky to see this advertisement of a zebra and a little boy. These two characters are literally 100 years old now, and this tradition came back lately. I mean, this ad, and I I decided to write this kind of poem. There is a story which tries to explain where this idea came from, and it's obviously a magical kind of story, and it's kind of romantic, because when you see 19th century and something that is kind of magical, then know that it's, romantic. So it was my first poem that I wrote in such a funny manner, so it was very important to me, and it was the first time when I realized that I did something completely different in my poetry. So that's why it's the first poem from the cycle, and that's why it's very important to me, and that's why I talk about this right now. Alright, I think that's enough, so I will read you the second poem right now. It's Over the Cup of the Tea. Later I will tell you a few words about this. So, that's Over the Cup of the Tea. 1. Monkey. I hear music play in my head, and it makes me dance, because we're prisoners of this civilization. But I will break these chains. I will bite and scream. 2. Dog. I close my eyes and heard whispers that somebody sits on your lap. It's not easy to be a jealous kind. So this poem is kind of funny at the same time, because it's from animals' points of view, but it's also kind of deeper, because you dance like a monkey, and at the same time you realize that being still is kind of what means being a civilized person, and it's about actually a person who decides to break chains and be unusual. And this way it's like comparing this kind of behavior to a monkey that is kind of mad and closed in a in a circus or something. And also it's a poem inspired by that song which was popular a few years ago about a dancing monkey. So that's why I wrote such a poem, and it's called Over the Cup of the Tea, because I was drinking tea then, and I had such a double idea for a poem, and this can be actually two different poems, but I put them in one because it's actually the same idea. It's about animals, but it's something deeper, and I wrote these two poems in the same moment. I mean, Over the Cup of the Tea. So it's like this cup of the tea is also something that inspired me. So the second part of this poem is about a dog. It's about rumors that there is another girl who sits on his lap, and I thought that I can turn it around and write about a dog that is jealous, because you have another dog and you're petting that dog in the moment. And if you have a dog, or if you saw videos, then animals sometimes get jealous like that, and and that's why I wrote such a poem. It's just about the real situation, which I decided to turn around, and I got inspired actually thanks to this tea, this real situation, and to all those videos of dogs that I saw in the internet. So that's actually all that I can tell you about today, about these two poems. And in the next month I will give you next two funny poems, and the first title is You Are My Tree, X20. I will tell you what this X20 means in the next episode. And the second one is Mrs. Spring. If you saw my store, then you already probably know that my spring collection was inspired by, well, this poem. And right now I will talk about this, in the next episode, so you will learn where this inspiration comes from. For this collection, for these two t-shirts. And by the way, if you haven't seen these t-shirts yet, just check out my official website. There is the store. Maybe you will want to order something. I will be very happy to prepare a little package for you. So just Google alisaagnes.com, L1S. So I think that's all today. You know what to expect. You know more about this cycle and about these two poems. So I can only tell you right now. Until the next time. Yep. Bye.